Hey Wildcats, today we're going to be talking about exponents. You should be on the left side of your notebook, and we're starting from the top with the title Exponents. When talking about exponents, there's three different forms we may talk about. Standard form is also known as the number form. The number form we're going to focus on today is 64. Putting 64 into exponential form, which is when we have the base raised to a power, is going to look different than just the number 64. If I say that an exponent is squared, squared means that it's going to be raised to the second power. If I say that something is cubed, cubed means that it is raised to the third power. Thinking about what number times itself would give me 64. For example, to the second power would look something like this, 8 squared. That's exponential form. I have an exponent. If I said 8 cubed, I would have 8 to the third power. Now, expanded form is the product of a base. So if I take that 8 to the second power, or 8 squared, finding the product of the base, my base is 8, all I'm saying is 8 times 8. I've expanded it. If I want to use the example 8 cubed, 8 to the third power, expanded is 8 times 8 times 8. Let's put this knowledge into practice. Exponential practice. The direction should say write in exponential form. For practice question number 1, I have 4 times 4 times 4. I have 4 multiplied by itself 3 times. Also, remember, the base is 4, that's what's being multiplied, and the exponent is how many bases are getting multiplied. 1, 2, 3. Remember, 4 to the third power is also known as 4 cubed. Let's try another one. Looking at number 2, I see that the number 2 is repeated, so that is my base, 2, and it's being repeated 2, 3, 4 times. That 5 is my exponent to show how many times the base is getting multiplied. Doing almost the opposite when we have to write in expanded form. If my example for number 1 is 7 cubed, I'm going to identify the base. The base is 7, multiplied by itself 3 times. Times 7. Another example is if I had 8 to the fourth power. Instead of using an x to show that 8 is being multiplied, I can also put it in parentheses as 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. For a third example, we've used x's, now parentheses. Now let's use a dot. If I have 9 squared, I could just say 9 dot 9. All of those are expanded form. This next example is having a problem and figuring out what is the standard form. So if I have 3 to the fourth power, my first step is I need to expand it. Expanding it, I have the number 3 multiplied by itself 4 times. Now to solve it, 3 times 3 is 9, and this 3 times 3 is 9. Now I would say 9 times 9 equals 81. 81 is my standard form. Let's try again. Number 2, if I have 5 squared. Now, sometimes they may write it out. 5 squared we know equals 5 to the second power, which equals 5 times 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. Some special cases we may have. Any base raised to the first power always equals itself. Here's an example. If I have 19 to the first power, that really equals 19. Another special case, any base raised to the 0 power always equals 1. For example, 52 to the 0 power is going to equal 1. Now let's do some practice problems.